Hello, welcome to Dundro's podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today, we're reviewing the third Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is a 2004 fantasy adventure film. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes, right? Which the last film was like 20 minutes longer, right? The last 10 minutes of this film is like credits. It's directed by Alfonso Cuarón. Cuarón. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. He directed Children of Men and Gravity, right? And the famous Mexican film Y2 Mama Tambien, right? Which is a crazy movie. You ever seen it? The movie stars Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Emma Watson as Hermione Granger, Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley. You have Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. Michael Gambon plays Professor Albus Dumbledore. Richard Harris died in between filming, so they had to replace him. It's funny. I only remembered Richard Harris as Dumbledore in the first film, but like he was in the second film as well. I totally forgot that. You have David Thewlis as Remus Lupin, right? And also Emma Thompson has a cameo in the film as the hippie spiritualist professor, which I thought was weird, right? Oh, by the way, I have an important announcement for later on in the review, so make sure to check out the end of the review if you're a regular subscriber, right? Yeah, so I gotta say, this was, besides from the second film, this was my second favorite Harry Potter film as a kid, because for the obvious reason where in this movie our characters start to look a little older, and they were like cool teenagers, right? Even though they're supposed to be like 13 in the movie, which I don't think they don't look 13. At least like the guys don't. They look older, but yeah, it's like, yeah. So it's like, wow. It's like as a kid watching this movie, it's like, wow. Harry Potter is now a cool teenager, right? So maybe we'll actually have to, see our characters get in actual cool magic fights, right? Wrong. I mean, he does learn a cool attack spell, but it's only good against Dementors, right? So the movie starts off pretty weird. Harry Potter has some anger issues, right? He's an edgy, moody teenager, right? In the beginning of the film, his aunt shows up. His fat aunt with a bulldog shows up and starts insulting him, insulting his parents, which Harry Potter never knew his parents, but for some reason gets very defensive about his parents, which is like, I get it, like, okay, you love your parents, blah, blah, they died for you, but like, yeah, it's like, you know, you would think you would learn, this guy was a teenager, grew up as an orphan all of his life. You would think he would learn to go along and get along, especially since, you know, he's not living under the crawl space under the stairs anymore. They gave him his own room since the second movie, right? But yeah, he's a little bit of a jerk in this movie and blows up his aunt, and she becomes a balloon, right? And refuses to bring her back, right? So he runs away and gets picked up by a bus, right, with Jamaican, like, shrunken voodoo head, right? As like a, like that's like, as what's it called? It's like hanging off the rearview mirror thing, right? That character was, I guess, kind of funny. And the bus is driven by like an old man with thick glasses, right? And he's driving very crazy down the road. And Harry Potter gets taken to the ministry, where he's informed that, yeah, he's not in trouble, but he needs to stay out of danger, right? He needs to go straight to Hogwarts because a prisoner escaped from Azkaban, which is the prison for like dark wizards, right? and the person who escaped is Sirius Black, who's an escaped murderer, right? And Harry Potter later finds out in the movie that Sirius Black is responsible for the deaths of his parents, right? And everybody seems to think that Sirius Black is a dark wizard that's coming after Harry Potter and wants to kill him, right? Yeah. So there's a cool, like, just like, I guess all these movies have mystery plots to them, but there was a cool, like, mystery plot in this movie, right? Yeah. So, like, there was another thing going on in the film where it's like, you start to see kind of a romance thing going on between Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, right? And Hagrid gets to become a professor in this movie, right? Which I forgot what the fuck he was teaching. I guess it was like Fantastic Beasts or whatever, where they introduce a hippogriff, which is basically a griffin. I don't know why they don't just call the griffin a griffin. They have to call it a hippogriff, right? Which is like, what the fuck? The fucking griffin is the sigil of Gryffindor, right? Or wasn't that lion? Is it a lion that's on their Gryffindor shit? That's weird. It should be a fucking griffin, right? Since it's called Gryffindor. Ah, whatever, right? Whatever. Sorry. But yeah, there was a cool thing going on where they start to have a relation. They don't have a relationship, but it's like, oh, it's starting to get there, right? It shows you the kids are growing up. They completely ruined Malfoy in this movie, because like Malfoy started off as like, a possible rival of like Harry Potter, and he just like, he's just a complete wimp in the movie, right? Which I don't know. Was he a wimp in the first two films? I don't remember. In the second film, he joined the Slytherin team and became a Seeker, right? But that never amounted to anything, really. There's like only like one like Quidditch scene in the movie, and that gets interrupted when Dementors or whatever the fuck they're called show up and like almost kill fucking Harry. They almost kill him like multiple times throughout the movie, to the point where the new teacher, Remus Lupin, who's played by the guy from the movie I love but a lot of people hate, the Island of Dr. Moreau movie. And everybody hates that movie because Richard Stanley got kicked off the director's chair and wanted to, when he wanted to, like, fucking make it an R-rated horror film. Nobody talks about how he fucked up the location of the filming that made it so everybody that he picked like a very rainy region of fucking Australia that delayed the filming of the movie for months, right? And that he was pretty much an incompetent director, that they had to hire a new director to get the filming done. Which, when filming for movies get delayed, it doesn't just screw up the stars who lose millions of dollars. It doesn't just screw up the production. Sorry, it doesn't just screw up the producers and the film studio. It also fucks over the production, because they only get paid a certain amount of money, right? And they lose work if shit gets delayed, right? Yeah, and LA is not the cheapest fucking city to live in. It's not like the production people are getting paid millions of dollars to make fucking movies, right? Holy fuck. But yeah, that's a rant for another day. Yeah, but like, yeah, you have a thing where like Dr. Remus Lupin, right, teaches Harry a spell to like defend himself against the Dementors, which is Expecto Patronus or some shit like that. Right. there's some cool time travel shit in the movie where that was like the dumbest fucking thing, because it's like Hermione Granger keeps like shows up for almost like every class, and it's like you have Harry's like Ron's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Don't you have like another class at the same time? Right? So it's like it turns out Hermione Granger got like a fucking like medallion thing from the headmistress of Gryffindor. I forget her name, McConaughey or whatever. The chick from Downton, the older lady from Downton Abbey, gave her a medallion, a time traveling medallion, so Hermione Granger could go to more classes. Right? It's like, what the fuck? And they use that for the climax of the movie, right? Which is like, what the fuck is this? Are you fucking joking? My god. Right? And there is some bootstrap paradox shit in the movie, but it's like, somebody, I forget who, somebody explained me how bootstrap paradoxes work. So apparently, bootstrap paradoxes do make sense. It's just that, there was, at some point, there was an how the fuck do bootstrap paradoxes make sense again? Something about alternate realities. Apparently, when a bootstrap paradox is before it's first made, it creates like a fucking alternate reality gets made or some fucking bullshit. It's all made up bullshit, right? But I'm just saying, like, apparently, according to people, bootstrap paradoxes actually do make sense, right? Which, yeah, there's one at the end of the movie, right? Overall, I like the movie. I like the twist of the movie that happens, 20 minutes before the climax of the movie, right? Which, leading up to that didn't make sense, because, you have, characters who have no ill intent towards our main characters are trying to scare the shit out of them, acting menacing and scaring the shit out of them for no other reason than to make the twist more impactful, right? Which makes no fucking sense. But overall, and there's a cool werewolf in the movie. I forgot to mention that. I wonder who's the werewolf, right? Is it going to be the guy whose last name means wolf or whatever in French? I don't fucking know. Oh my god. Right. But yeah, there's a cool twist in the movie that you don't really see coming unless you've seen the movie. And then it's like, oh yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Oh, right, but yeah. Yeah. Do I have any other? I would say the cinematography from the movie looks great. Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, I thought did a good job, but the problem with him as Dumbledore is that he's a bit more energetic, right? Which apparently, Dumbledore in the books was more reserved or some shit. I don't know if that's true. That's what I heard. But Dumbledore, Richard Harris is a tall guy, and he always had his back straight. And I don't know. There's Dumbledore had this air of fucking quiet strength, where yeah, he was an old man, but he came off powerful, like how he dealt with Malfoy's dad in the end of the last movie. Here he's he comes off more mischievous, right? And yeah, I don't know if I liked him as he's great in the movie. I'm just saying, compared to Richard Harris, in some ways he's better because he's giving more energetic performance. He's not, because apparently Richard Harris only did the Harry Potter movies just to impress his grandsons or whatever, right? But the way, it's the thing where the way he gave he phoned in performance, but it added to the character, right? It ended up working in his favor, right? In the first two movies, Where here it's like you have a guy who's actually trying, and it's like you're not coming off as the secret badass wizard that Dumbledore's supposed to fucking be, right? But overall, I enjoyed this movie. This movie had more of like a horror feel to it, which was great. I like the twist. My only problem with the climax of the movie is that it did not like the movie. The movie, the movie. I guess the climax too early, and it just felt like, the end of the movie just felt like who cares? But overall, great movie, 8 out of 10. So I'm going to review Goblet of Fire, but I'm not going to review it. I'm not gonna post that review till I'm not gonna. And for March, I'm doing Martial Arts Madness Month again this year, where I review wuxia and kung fu films and action films. Sorry. So that's why that's why this review's coming out on the 28th, because I was gonna wait till next weekend, but I'm gonna start reviewing Martial Arts Madness reviews, which those reviews were the most high videos on this channel, right? So I kind of want. I'm not doing this channel for views, but it looks better for me if I have videos that have views higher than 20 views or whatever, 100 views for whatever, as an excuse for why I keep this going. Because if I'm only doing videos, I only get 5 to 20 views, and I've been doing this for 3 years, people are like, what the fuck is this loser doing? So if I have videos that go in the thousands or whatever, then it makes, it feels like, oh yeah, it makes more of a sense why he's still fucking doing this, right? And my most highest viewed videos are the martial arts madness reviews, and there's actually some wuxia films I actually do want to watch, right? So yeah, look forward to those videos. The first one's gonna come out in Wednesday. It's either gonna be Jet Li's Fearless or True Legend. I haven't decided yet. Peace.